occasions that maybe fans are a little more excited for your new opponent, Josh Van, based on what he calls to take outside of the guys like you felt that at all, just more interest in this fight?
Yeah, we stood up to the main card to Joshua Van. So yeah, I would say that's a huge deal of what he's done, and I think he's excited. Like I hate like being a fan of the sport when you fight somebody. It's like, bro, like 3 weeks ago, Joshua Van's fight week, and me and the boys were ready to watch, you know. So it's like now it's like I gotta go fight him, and now I gotta be a part of it. But yeah, I think everything he's done, like, I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to watch it. You know, but.
How, I guess, frustrated has it been? Because I feel like every interview you do, it's like, oh, you're taller, you're longer, all this kind of stuff. Like, it just seems kind of monotonous with Josh, maybe because medias are trying to create a storyline rather than just like, you know, this guy's a really exciting fighter. These guys are different.
Yeah, so wait, what were you saying that the storyline being known taller, or
like you're just like the bigger, more experienced guy rather than like this is going to be an exciting fight?
Well, also just like the amount of fights that he's popped off within the years. Like I don't know how much fights I have in the UFC or how much fights he has in the UFC, but I mean his experience is catching up. I'm not going there thinking anything different. Like this is a rookie. This is the first time stepping in the cage. No, this guy has fight on fights. He's fought on some of the biggest cards of the year. Yeah, so it's like that. I don't take any of that as anything.
The last time you were fighting something like prospect in Tyra, after the fight, you said like maybe you overlooked him a little. That's not going to happen again. Obviously, this is kind of a last minute thing, but did you take anything away from like the like shake your head?
No, not at all. I think if you compare Joshua Van and Al Cate, their best wins are the same, and it's like what they bring is a little bit of the same. So it's like, and I feel like, I don't know, I got to go back and watch some of the fights, but I mean, Joshua Van might be beating him in cooler ways, you know? So in my head, it's just like, I still got the realest opponent out there, you know? I still got someone hard to fight, I still got some kid that is ready to take everything. So, the most dangerous person is someone with nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose at all, you know, everything to gain, and I have everything. So it's a scary situation no matter what. This is my first. I think this is my first time in UFC fighting outside the top 10. And I mean, he might be in the top 10. I don't really know what the rankings are. I don't really give a shit. It doesn't fucking matter at this point in time. But it's like this is my first time fighting outside the top 10, and you know, it's a scary situation for myself.
Did it matter who you would be fighting this week, or did you want to be on this card because of the flyweights?
No, just being lined up with the flyweight title is what we're going. Once they offer this fight to us, just looked back on I was like, all right, well, if we want to stay on this card, that what matters the most. I think, you know, being a part of any big card or being like aligned with the title fight is huge. I prefer main events and 5-round fights, but you know, being aligned on this card, I think is even more important.
And, you know, Josh was in here and he said he's going to be making 125 just in case something happens in that co-main event. And he said it himself, like, I get through Brandon, I should be fighting for the title next. Pantoja said the same thing. So are you also, you know, going to try to get 125 just in case? And is it after getting with Josh? It's title shot's mine.
We'll see what that last pound looks like. But yeah, no, that's a goal. The goal is to make 125. My weight's really good right now, and you know, who knows what happens and what doesn't happen. And you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. And you know, I'm just practicing making weight for the title fights genuinely. So.
Okay. Has there been any competition of like you win this, you are getting your title shot next?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing and I'm telling you guys right now. I win this fight, I make a statement, I go get a title shot, and same thing with Joshua Van. We go make statements. I think we're both one of the most exciting fighters in this division. We go put on an exciting fight, which is gonna happen no matter what. One of us is up next to the belt.
You were saying that like if you don't get it, you'd be down to go up and down weight and see some kind of gap fights?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for a fight, man. I want to stay active this year. I want to fight. I want to make statements, and you know, I'm a lengthy flyweight. I can make the weight. I walk around not heavy, so it's not hard weight cut, but I'm lengthy and I can, you know, I'm taller than some of these 45ers, honestly. I tower over Alex Hernandez. But yeah.
Were you surprised that you opened as an underdog again, but it quickly flipped?
I think I'm back to being an underdog, but I'm not surprised at all. I think, bro, honestly, I think I'm the most disrespected fighter in the UFC. I think it's been shown over and over again. Anytime a money line comes out, I think I've been a favorite against Matt Snell and never again in the UFC. My whole entire career has been the way. Alabama was always the underdog. Really nothing's different. It's just like I feel like I continuously get disrespected by the fans and whoever the odd makers or whatever it is. But it doesn't matter. It's like anytime I win a fight, there's something that comes up of like, oh, you know, like this happened. Moreno's overactive. It's like, bro, I've had more fights than him that I'm after a fight. It's like he's overactive. Not like, you know, so it's like the narrative's weird, but I just feel like, you know, whatever, you don't give me my roses, it's just I'm gonna take that shit.
Last one for me is you were pretty open about concussion. I was telling you like the dirty little secret that no one wants to talk about in the sport. So I guess why was it important for you to put it out that way, and how was it recovering from that concussion?
So for me, this is something I've always taken really serious. I've fought since I was 16, and back in the day, there was like, I always call it the medieval times. It's like, motherfuckers, I watch people get knocked out and then go spar the next week, you know? And I was always just mind blown. I don't know what it is, but that can't be right. You know, I don't know the right way, but that can't be right. So it's like anytime I ever got like hit decently, I was taking time off the sparring. I was never getting, like, you know, I've always been super precautious about my head and all that other stuff. So, and it's like, I feel like, especially in fighting, you know, people get hurt. It's like, how many, no fighters making it to this okay, you know, we're all buzzed up a little bit, we're all hit up, we're all like hurt somewhere, somehow, somewhat, you know. But I feel like a concussion, everybody hides it. It's like, bro, this is like the biggest deal to me. Like, you know, I fought with broken hands, I fought with a broken foot. I've literally taken off a boot and fucking fought within a week, you know what I'm saying? And I was open about that. On my LFA title shot, I was like, I was in a boot, like I was in a boot on crutches, yeah, I broke a foot. Then I went on that fight. The whole entire beginning of my career, I had a torn labrum, literally just not grappling, not wrestling, just hoping that I could make it to the fight. And then back to back, you know, I was trying to take fights like Josh Hernandez now and just boost my career and try to get to where I wanted to be. And it's like, you know, I just feel like you can get through these things. It's like, there's no hill in the head. There's nothing that can go back on that. So it's like, for me, it was super important to take the time. I think my team's been really ahead of it. We worked with a neurologist before I got the concussion. We were working with a neurologist, had all my baseline stuff done, and just seeing like what changed, what is all this, and yeah, and even now, thanks to the Colorado, like the neurology out of Colorado is amazing. I work with 3 people on a consistent basis that were just helping me out on a daily, and yeah, thanks to all of that. And then I made that part of my daily routine too. So it's like, you know, I think for me, like, I want to not stutter. I already talk like shit half the time. I get nervous when I see you guys. It's like, I'm always like, you know, I don't want to be stuttering. I want to have my wits about me. The UFC is my favorite thing on earth, and you know, being here is amazing. But you know, I have a life to live after this, and I want to watch my family grow up. I want to watch my niece grow up. I want to watch all this stuff, and I don't want to be one of those guys that are, you know, stuttering, shaking, and all the above.
So you mentioned there being disrespect. I can agree with that. You're very fun fighter. So if you need one day go to like a bantamweight division, given how fan-friendly your style and how violent you are sometimes, you think that would potentially get you the respect you deserve in amongst the casual life?
I mean, I don't know. I really have no clue. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't give a shit. I still gotta fight no matter what. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's just being a flyweight. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with it, obviously, but perhaps maybe in your history with Alessandro Pantoja, and you just mentioned making a statement this week against Josh Van. Do you feel like it has to be like maybe something like a highlight reel statement to get that other shot against Pantoja, maybe just to how many times it takes him home, when they've done that for defense?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's, you know, I'm only out here to make statements. I'm out here to make money. This is like, once again, this is pretty short-lived. I'm out here to make statements, I'm out here to make bonuses, I'm out here to get more money off of this, and you know, Joshua Dan's the same, so I feel like fights can be all highlight reels.
Last one for me. The champ just spoke also about how good this division is. right now? Obviously, like you just mentioned, being a flyweight maybe doesn't give you the eyes you guys deserve. But what's your opinion on the current state, right? Guys like Josh Jacobs about to fight, because we're seeing you and Utah come into this division.
Yeah, and it's cool watching like I watched Josh Man. I watched his Fury title fight where he got signed to the UFC. Like I was there in person, and it's cool watching these like new up and comers and some of the guys that I'm working with, and like and just seeing how far this division is gonna go. I think as a boxing fan, some of my favorite divisions are the lightest divisions, and some of the more skilled divisions are always that. And it's like I feel like within the next few years, you're gonna see some of these nasty kids come out, and you'll see Joshua Van touch gold. You'll see you'll see these guys that are young, that are making strides already, touch gold, and it's gonna be cool to see what like all their careers shape out to.
Just quickly, of course you've come up short against Concussion in the past, so do you think he retains the title against Royval this Saturday?
I don't know what that had to do with the question. What? Damn.
Depending on what you do.
But I mean, I don't know. I think the thing with Pantoja is, I think anything could really happen in a fight. It's just like Pantoja gets hit, and Kai Kara France can hit, and it's just like one of those things that like, and I don't know who's gonna knock him off or if someone does knock him off, but I do feel like the fighting style of Pantoja, pressure and all that stuff is gonna make it hard for Kai Kara France to like cover that distance and focus on that or not.
And what I was going to say following this is, if you do get another shot at Concussion, have you looked back at those fights and seen where it is that you can make adjustments, and how do you think it would go down if you did get that title shot, you did retain, and you got that other opportunity?
I believe in myself. I really do. I think I can take Pantoja. I think that I'll be the one to do it. I think that I can make. There's a bunch of adjustments and everything. There's so much learned and there's so much to do, and I feel like I have an idea of how I fight it next, and I think that's what's going to take him out.
And then just last one for me, just a prediction on the main event of this is such a big title fight.
Oh man, I'm hopefully going to take our bonus this week, but I'm hoping for the most. Super exciting fight. I hate making predictions on people that could probably beat me up, so I'm just gonna keep my mind out of it. But in my head, it's just like, I want Oliver to win every fight for the rest of his life and never retire. So I want Oliver. I love Oliver. I think everybody does, but who knows?
Brandon over here.
What's up, brother?
How you doing? I think it was about a year ago that you sort of switched things up in your training and all that, and sort of have your own gym. And you also do a lot of cross training. You got a chance to work with Corey Sandhagen. How much have you evolved since making that change as a fighter, especially heading into this one?
Oh, a lot. I think there's like, there's a specific thing about like working with a small knit group and just adjusting and like having things cater to you. And if I have a fight, Luis has a fight, Alex has a fight, if whoever has a fight, we're catering that specific training to them. And it's not like if we all have fights at the same time. It's like this hours for me, this hours for him. It's, what I'm saying. So I think it's like very specific on what I need to do to grow as a fighter, and specifically what they need to grow as a fighter. How do we merge together and make it? And then you work with the team and just improve all those little skills, and you can test it out and all that stuff. So it's been fun, and I'm really glad that I have good relationships all around Colorado where I can step into any gym and get the help of all the other guys and all the other. Colorado and USA, Colorado might have some of the per capita or whatever the best fighters. They were doing like a ranking of like US fighters of like the top ranked USA fighters, and it's like Corey Sandhagen, Gaethje, myself, and then Chris Williams, and we're all in the same gym training. It's like it's cool just being in that like little different environment where all these skills things are. And not to mention all the guys that aren't even in the top rankings yet, but they will be,
And just last one for me, kind of off the beat a little bit. You talked a little bit about before, but you got to meet Nathan McKinnon. Apparently he's going to be at the fights on Saturday, you were saying. What was that like getting to meet someone from another high-level sport? And I heard you waited around a little bit for him just to meet him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the biggest hockey. Like, if I could have been a hockey player, I probably would have, But yeah, hockey's like my favorite sport, nerd. It's so really cool. And like, you're really not one of the best players to ever do it. it's just cool to be around any high-level mind or high-level thinking like that, and a very special individual, you know, so it's just cool to even brush elbows with someone like that, you know. I just walked by Parents Crawford, and I was trying not to freak out, you know. It's like, just a huge fan of everything.
Brandon, over here, you told me you really like learning from boxers and stealing their moves before fights. Which boxers did you watch in the lead up for this Joshua event?
For the Joshua event, but it's been pretty much the same the last couple of weeks. Just we've been still a lot of Nakatani, and you know, and there's just so many good southpaws, but I was like really diving deep in that Japanese boxing a little bit lately, and Junta Nakatani, I think is someone that I can capitalize off of. He's just a rangy boxer, you know, his range, he uses his range, he uses every inch to his advantage, and honestly, my cut man Rudy is his coach, so I was pretty stoked on that too.